Made an amazing discovery on Spotify about 4 or 5 months ago. You know, I like to draw a food analogy to songs because I like food. I like to eat. Some songs, and there's a place for these songs that remind me of a food equivalent to that would be like a plate of sausage and maybe some eggs or something with pancakes slathered with syrup. And boy, that's a meal right there. You're loving that meal, but then you come out, you got your sugar high, and that's it. You feel kind of a little bit dissatisfied. But a song like this, at number 26 on my fantasy playlist, is more akin to a salad bar. This song is a storytelling record. It harkens back to the singer-songwriting tradition of way back in the day, 30, 40, 50 years ago, freshly minted on a techno template. In other words, you could dance to this record, and it's also thought-provoking. Now, that's a salad bar right there. Eat up. That's right. It is Youngr at number 26 on my fantasy playlist, February the 13th, 2022. And this is Dean Kirk, resuming countdown of the fantasy playlist. And, oh, yeah, let me read this. Let me do the quote-unquote thing. Here comes a hook. This is it. Quote, there was a boy from Manchester who never quite fit in with his curly hair and light skin. He kind of sounds American. And there's your red carpet right there. Welcome aboard. Welcome to my world. That'll get you to the song. That's part of your hook right there. And the song, Boy from Manchester by Youngr. He's got several names. Now, one of his names got 3 or 4 words in it, but I'll just go with Dario Darnell, or Youngr, just to kind of simplify things a little bit. British singer-songwriter. He was born near Manchester. His dad, August Darnell, he was Kid Creole, I believe I pronounced. I looked up pronunciation online. I think I got it. Well, anyway, his dad fronted Kid Creole and the Coconuts. And boy, that is going back to the 80s. Now, that's very nostalgic right there. Very nostalgic for Dean Kirk. Boy, started his music career. Youngr, Dario Darnell started his musical career more or less in 2012. This was near Liverpool. He teamed up with his brother and formed a band called Picture. I believe it's called Picture Playbook. No, Picture Book. It's called Picture Book. Went solo in 2016, started releasing performance videos on YouTube. He was covering records by Daft Punk, Tove Lo, Dua Lipa, and by 2016, he released a record called Out of My System, which snagged, in 10 months, it snagged 20 million streams on Spotify, Out of My System. He covered Temper Traps, Sweet Disposition. Remember that song? U2 sounding record that came out in late 2009, early 2010. Got to put on my DJ voice. Well, he covered that song, and boy, that nailed. That yanked in 15 million views on YouTube first 2 weeks. Boy, that was it. He found a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow right there. When he went solo, got a deal with Island Records, and Island Records, they re-released Out of My System. Monsters was another single. What's Next? Came out with an album called This Is Not an Album, his debut album. This Is Not an Album. That's the name of it, back in 2018. Oh Lordy was on that album, or a single that came out. And that sounds very familiar. I think I put that on a fantasy playlist, so maybe this is not the first song I've heard by Youngr. He's played 160 shows, 45 countries. He has been busy. 100 million streams so far. Maybe more than that. And that is amazing. When I was growing up, you got your main music exposure on television. AM radio, which later became and later FM radio. And then of course MTV came along in 1981, and then there was night tracks on WTVS, and there was VH1, all that came along in the 80s. But now you got a plethora, probably, well, you got a whole bunch of platforms now to feature your music. You got your social media. You got Facebook. You've got Instagram. You got TikTok, and there's also YouTube. I mean, I don't know if YouTube is really a social media, but I'll just throw it in there. And you got your musical platforms. Well, YouTube is a musical platform, as well as Spotify, Pandora, and if it weren't for Spotify, I'll be honest, I don't want this to sound like an advertisement, but if it weren't for Spotify, I wouldn't have even come across a lot of these songs that are on this fantasy playlist. Fantastic records. They are not getting, despite all the work that he's put in over the past 10 years, I have yet to hear him on the radio. He's not played on the radio. Not at all. Certainly not here in Alabama, maybe New York City, maybe Los Angeles, maybe London, but not here, not here. This song, it goes back to his roots. This has been simmering for a long time. This is something that there are some parts of your past that you're ashamed of that you just throw into the closet. And it stays there. But you come to a point in your life as you get older, you want to explore. You open up the cellar door and it comes out, and you find out there are some things that you hated in the past that you like now. And here's a guy who didn't like cricket, he didn't like football, he didn't like Oasis, but it turns out that now he loves to watch a little football. He likes Oasis, and of course he likes Tom Petty too. He likes to play Tom Petty. Song about coming to terms with yourself. Or at least that's what I get out of it. It's like this song is like a progression of infectious musical notes, proclaiming, and neon lights. And neon, I've come to terms with myself. It's a win-win situation. We're all winners. I hope that made sense. The formats for this record. The formats that this record could fit into. Radio format, satellite radio, pop, BPM, and perhaps alternative. I'd love to hear this on an alternative radio station. We got one here in Tuscaloosa, by the way. I'd love to hear this on 101.7. That would be really great. In other words, this is a mass appeal record. This record is relatable. This is about a guy who doesn't fit in when he was in school because he's not into things that his peers are into. And lots of people can relate to that. There's a lot of people who feel like outcasts. If you're feeling like an outcast, even if you don't like dance music, you might like this record. You might can relate to this record. You might say, you know, I'm not into techno, but boy, this guy, he's singing my song because I feel like a reject myself. Although as you get older, you start to come to terms. I think that's all I got to say about this record. I think I'm done. I keep thinking I've missed something. I'll be done with this video, and then I'll think, oh, dadgummit, why didn't I mention this? And as a matter of fact, I did come across something I want to mention to you. Later on, now he signed with Island Records. I think I've already mentioned that, but later on he signed with, he teamed with Armand van Buuren, another BPM giant. Man, he's mingling with the giants. The BPM heaven, baby. He's mingling with the giant, and he got on with his record label Armada, and this record is off the Armada record label. A boy from Manchester. All right, that's it, folks. It is. Oh God, Young. I had this in the top 10, by the way. I might have put it up. I think I either put it at number 1, number 2, or number 3. It's a hit record. This record, it is. is a touchdown. Using a football analogy. You got to like football around here in Alabama. I mean, we're the home of the Crimson Tide here in Tuscaloosa, and the Auburn Tigers in southern Alabama, so this is a big football state right here. So, but anyway, I lost my train of thought. So the bottom line is this: fantastic record. You like the dance music, if you like the BPMs, you like the songwriting tradition, this is for you. It's an eclectic sounding record. That's what I like about this. And part of the salad bar, you got the dance beats, you got the storytelling tradition, and you got the it's just eclectic. It's just different. Most sublime record, most sublime song. Number 26 down from 17, Youngr. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. Youngr, no E in it, with Boy from Manchester on my fantasy playlist, February the 13th, 2022. Dean Kirk signing off. Take care.